Now, the original version of this, colleagues, is called the Social Discipline Window. Social Discipline Window by Ted Wachtell and Paul McCold. References on the bottom. A number of years ago, colleagues, we changed the colours on it first and foremost, so hopefully you're picking up on a traffic light colour. We also changed it to 4 ways because culture exists in every classroom, in every school, but is it by design or is it by default? What we want to do with this framework is create culture and practice by design, not by default. So we've got a couple of words on there, colleagues, one of challenge and one of support. Just to be clear, they both go from low to high. They both go from low to high. They both go from low to high. When we say the word challenge, colleagues, we mean words like to set limits, to set boundaries, to have expectations. Discipline, sanctions, consequences need to be in there as well. I don't know where the idea of restorative practice doesn't have consequences. It does. I'll come to that in a second. The other bit you might want to think about, though, is when we talk about consequences, we also want to match that, because I think a conversation is as important as the consequence, because behavior not translated will only be transferred. What you don't repair will be repeated. When we say support, colleagues, we mean words like nurture, compassion, empathy, kindness, respect, dignity, all of those words. Now, we believe if you do more challenge and less support, you'll end up in the top left-hand box if you're looking at this screen. And we call this, colleagues, the 2 box. This is culture and practice that does a lot of things to people. Now, if I had you for a whole day, I would have got you into groups or individually getting you to reflect. If I was physically in a space with you, I would split you into groups of 3 or 4 with a piece of flip chart and pens and get you reflecting on these 4 boxes. What I'm doing today is top loading it a little bit. But the top left box is what we call the 2 box. The original version, colleagues, I would love you to grab these words, has words like punitive, authoritarian, strict, harsh, controlling. But we call this the 2 box. Now, a couple of things just to get you thinking a little bit more, colleagues. It has the word punishment, punitive. For me personally, I think punishment creates resentment rather than reflection. Don't forget, challenge me on anything I say. And in case you're sitting there thinking, I'm not quite sure about that statement. How many of you got sent to your bedroom as a child by a parent, a carer? I bet you none of you lovely people said to your parent, thank you for the opportunity to learn and grow. I'm going to calmly take myself upstairs. I'm going to get myself a piece of paper and I'm going to compile a smart action plan of what I need to do differently next time. Hopefully you might have done what I did, which was stomp up the stairs. When I got to my bedroom door, I used to slam it. If that didn't work, I opened it and slammed it a second time. The worry with the 2 box, colleagues, is for children who do the right thing most of the time, you don't even need that stuff. I've got a 23-year-old, my own daughter, who was painfully good in school. She would even measure her skirt to make sure it was the right length. I know, painfully good. I had another daughter where I drove past the bus stop one morning and stopped because I wasn't even sure whether she had a skirt on. She'd rolled her up that many times. What I'm trying to say is people who do the right thing, the act of a punishment isn't actually anything useful. For the children, where if and when things go wrong, I worry that they might factor it into their day. Or if you change the word challenge to compliance and the word support to ownership, when you work in the 2 box, it creates a culture of compliance but no ownership.